Hi, my name is Raj Sikandar Chowdhury. Uh, this video is called, it might be a funny one, but this video would be called From Maximal Uncertainty to Divine Certainty via Heisenberg. What does it mean or what does it indicate? This is about perhaps physics or cosmology and leading up to divine certainty. Now I'll show you something, but this needs other illustrations of uh, now this is perhaps it is not very clear here, but let's say now you can see some dots, some dots here. Now with this thing I cannot really illustrate the communication which I mean the idea that which I am trying to communicate, but let's just imagine a bit. Let's say this sort of dots, when I put this dot on when I write this dot on here, it is there, it is always there, but let's imagine that many very far away or far off before in time, etc., in time, there were, before space and time, there were these dots, this dot-like interexistence, which we can also, or space-like dots, which are appearing and disappearing. These space-like dots appearing and disappearing. This is the thing, and all over. So, what does it indicate, or what does it mean? It indicates that these space-like dots, they are all, are they certain? No, certainly not. There's maximal uncertainty. We do not know. They come and go, and etc. And we cannot say even whether they're space or not. So this is the most possible, and this is what, in fact, this is human imagination. Let's say I imagine, but I am a human being, I am a human agent. So it is not that I like it very much. It's not this sort of thing. This is not my pet theory or something, which I try to extrapolate and go further and further, and sort of simulation, in fact, simulation of human simulation, which I found that the farthest simulation that we can have is the dot-like, space-like dots coming and appearing and disappearing, and all over. Now, from this one, from this maximal uncertainty, or it's the maximal possibility also. They are all over. But the maximal uncertainty means we do not know which, because we want to know, in fact, because we human beings, we have this habit of knowing, and our origin, etc. Okay, so this is the most uncertain, or the most, we can, it's not probability, because probability is when a possibility can, if and when a possibility can be quantified, then we have this probability. Well, this is far off. Well, so this, with this maximal uncertainty, then there are others as well. There are others, are that these dots become, there are some dots which coalesced, they come together, they become neighbors, etc., as in geometry we say neighbors together, and they one, let's say two, or sometimes through the numbers, they do not count, they don't exist at that time, but still we, from our point of view, we say there's 2 or 3, etc. So they, as groups, as small groups, they come and go, and sometimes within one groups there are one goes off, another comes on, etc. Now these things, this is I mean, this is not maximal uncertainty. So this is sort of a less uncertain. That means, or let's say we have the habit of saying a probability, let's forget it, possibility, let's say possibility, because it cannot be quantified at that stage. So we have less greater possibility, because when maximum uncertainty, that was possibility zero of something, and possibility of nothing everywhere, possibility of nothing, which is, I mean, uncertainty. So now there are other stages, or you cannot say even this, we have this anthropic communications or expressions, these stages or etc. This comes when there is already evolution, but evolution is as much, again, not later, but let's say evolution is a much less uncertain, at a much less uncertain period or stage or whatever it is, we have evolution. So this is before evolution, or still accompanying outside, let's say exo-evolution. This is exo-evolution. Now, so this goes on, that means the uncertainty reduces, and there are reducing, not reduces, but there are less uncertain. And we have this very big, at certain point, we can say that this the space-like dots, and appearing and disappearing. So we can say here this space-like, it's space-like, or perhaps proto-space, and this appearing, disappearing, this is event. So proto-space, events. Now, after some other less unstable, or less less uncertain, we can say areas. Again, area means indicates space at any rate. There is a word which I have developed. I had to develop. That's interexistence, because when you say reality, even physicists sometimes they confuse. They say reality. We can say that reality, potentiality, possibility, and above all, we can say one universal, even more than universal means it is in universe, but this is greater than universe. So one category which we can say that interexistence, this space-like dot and appearing and disappearing, this is also interexistence. But this is the maximal uncertain interexistence. Then we have lesser uncertain and more possible interexistence. So then we have clusters, etc. And at a certain point, at a certain interexistential level, we can say that these are becoming space, regular space, and also the events when they become regular, we can say time. So we can say that the appearance of space-time here, from this dot-like, space-like dots appearing and disappearing, we have this space-like space-time, whereas these events are regular, and also this is more like dots, but they are conglomerated or coalesced groups together, which is space-like. So space-time comes of being, and then it goes on. Then we can say many others. It's like many shapes, and also sizes. So now this just a sort of accompanying idea that we say very often nowadays, we use the word narrative. Narrative, even a war narrative, a political narrative, and all sort of things. But the point is that in science, it's very neutral. It's not charged. There is no partiality or my narrative and that narrative. It is the best fitting narrative that, or best matching narrative that we try to establish or we try to find out. Now, this seems also to be a narrative. Even physics is a narrative, in fact, but the best fitting one, best matching one. Expressed in language, in graphics, and also in numbers by mathematics, and nowadays with AI, with artificial intelligence, computers, etc. Okay, so now with this space-time thing, interexistence, when going on, and there are a lot of big chunks or etc. At some level of interexistence, we find that there is sort many groupings which we might call universes. It is not the 10 to the power 500 universe of this string theory, which I think it's more like entities of the cosmic entities rather than universe. But then we can have these universes, and now we know, I mean, the scientists have found out that there are universes which they exist just for the nanoseconds or many less, and then there are others which are greater, etc. And we are already we are always interested in ourselves. That means in our universe, this universe. And by the way, I think perhaps for a better communication, we can call our universe Planck universe, after the name of this illustrious and one of the greatest scientists, Max Planck, because the basic unit of our universe is this Planck space-time. Planck space, which is around 10 to the power minus 34 centimeters, and Planck time 10 to the power minus 43 seconds. So it becomes, there are some other figures in between, but well, it is 10 to the power minus 77 centimeters second. That is the basic unit of our universe, and we can perhaps call it better, we can call it our Planck universe. Okay. Now, what happened is that there was this, somebody knows, and especially the physicists know it, this term, fine-tuning. This fine-tuning is, there are, I do not want now to go into details, there are I think six pairs of parameters or something, it hardly matters, the electric charge and mass, etc. And there was this, at this moment, there was a sort of click, and they got this proportion fixed, and this proportion is fixed even now after 14 billion years. This is the thing, you know. I think it's called, we can call it allometric sort of thing. Like when before, when I was young, I used to go in festival times, we used to go to the tailor shop and get measures, and these measures or this ratios, the ratios remain the same. The measures vary because the boy or me or the girl grows up, and the amounts change, but the ratios remain same. So this is what happened with this clicking, multiple clicking, not just one or two. You know, we have the house appliances we buy as kits, and then we fix it, and then there's a click. The one, it goes into other. It's a click between two things, two sides of the object. But there's multiple clicking, and this was this fine tuning, and one of the basic was this Planck space time, and another was when you take Planck space and time, when you divide Planck space by Planck time, we get the speed of light. This is very perhaps we don't give much attention to it. But this was also fixed because before there was variable speed of light, which we say VSL, etc. And even now, very recently in the laboratories, with this Bose-Einstein condensation or Bose condensation, the speed of light has been limited artificially in laboratories, scientific laboratories. That has come to, let's say, with this speed of a runner, very good runner, or a speed of a bicycle bike, a very, very low one. And in black holes, light cannot go out. It is zero, in fact. The velocity, the speed of light is zero in black holes. Okay, so now this clicking, there is a good word in French, which is said. They said, in French is a mise en ensemble. That means they are put together. This clicking or the fine tuning is this putting together, and it seems from the fine tuning, most probably it was rather implosive, because a clicking is sort of, it may not be implosive, but it clicking together, becoming together. So it was rather implosive, and then there was this explosion, which we know very well by this, I think Benoit, I forgot his name, is Belgian priest. Is it the Big Bang theory in 1929 or something? And this Big Bang explosion going on. And then much later, it's Alan Guth, I think Alan Guth, he gave the idea that there was inflation afterwards, the inflation theory of inflation. Okay, so this started with this fine tuning of this matching of together, coming together, and sort of in an implosive way. We have already space-time at the Planck space-time, and we have the Planck space-time, and also the relation between the Planck space-time, which is that of the divergence or the wave, which is called light, not only called light, but this electromagnetic waves, electromagnetic energy. Well, we know 10 to the power, I think, 8 meters, or 10 to the power 10 centimeter per second, etc. Okay. So we get this one, the Planck space-time, the speed of light, or the speed of propagation. Sorry. And also others, which I think detail, maybe another video I'll give you. The E by M ratio, it is, I think, 1 by 137, etc. There are other. They still remain the same. Though the universe grows, but these ratios remain the same. This is the basic thing about our universe. Now, okay, it's a divine certainty. Now this goes on. Then suddenly there is the evolution. It's an open evolution. It is not a closed one. Open evolution, and this physical evolution of space-time. Then we have these particles forming. Hydrogen, first one was hydrogen, very plenty among the whole universe, etc. And then they're forming together, clouds, and then we have these, what should I say, the galaxies, and we have 100 billion galaxies. And our galaxy, we have a name for it, the Milky Way, galaxies. So galaxy. Yeah, and there are many other galaxies, and then are stars, planets, and then we come around the sun, our sun, our star, and there's the 9 or 10 or 11 planets, and we have this planet Earth, and here we are. And then it goes on evolution here. At a certain point, that we have this life comes on, this living evolution, and on we have this. And another, I think, in video accompanying sort of thing, I said, what about our evolution and society, etc. So many species, after all, the mammalians and the primate groups, we are part of the primates, and then we became the Homo sapiens, etc., etc. Then around the civilizations, and the 5 big civilizations, Egyptian, Mesopotamian, Indus Valley, Yangtze Valley, China, and also the Greek islands, Greek civilization. the basic, I mean, not basic, but the very foundational civilizations. And then it went on, went on. At the same time, as I said in another video, that's around 6,000 years ago, something happened that we missed, in fact, this Milton's poetry, Paradise Lost. And then we failed, in fact, to make the contact between me, us, and them, others. And I mean, what should I say, we messed up really the human relations. And then there were these robber barons, and etc., etc., etc. But at the same time, even very early people, let's say around 2,500 years more or less, because people were traveling and commerce and etc. And this they thought, some people who used to think, they thought that we are going the wrong way, and they tried to correct those ways. And in the nearly Egypt and Mesopotamia and Greek world, which more or less become related. And then there came some among the Semitic people, and there were traumatic experiences, and that's how people think much more than what is it all about. So one of the peoples, the Semitic peoples, it was Moses who gave us, in fact, not just for the Jewish people, but the whole humanity, these 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments, which is a wonderful one. It is, which is very, very wonderful. Well, then went on, and this again, after some time, a few hundred years after, there was Jesus who found that the 10 Commandments, which is like laws, injunctions, they do not suffice. People flout these laws, and they find ways and means to deviate, etc. So he went to the basic. He said this, love thee. Let us love one another. Let us love one another as God loves us. So this is very, very, I shouldn't say beautiful, but very foundational, because especially now we need this loving care. Otherwise, we are going almost directly towards the human destruction. I mean, the humanity of destruction, not the human beings, but our essence, the human essence. Okay. Then the same people, there were these Prophet Muhammad. He exposed a religion which is very, very practical, and said, well, so these are the three great religions there in the Semitic world. And then in the Indus Valley, and then there were, let me surmise in very summarily, that after the Indo-Europeans came to India and they settled, and they found there's these Vedas and Vedantas, etc. And also China, very different sort of thing, like you say, Lao Tse. And also in Greece, much later, the philosophers were much secular, in the sense non-divine, in fact, because all was divine. Even, but Buddha was not divine, and he was talking of the emancipation and becoming conscious. He was not asking for any divine intervention. Okay, so but one thing which we find now is that this divinity. Let's say there are many divinities. In India, we said 33 million divinities we had, but Vedanta says no, we have one, non-dual. Okay, so we need this. That what I find, I was very, very interested in Buddhism, but then I found that there is one thing. Perhaps Buddha or Gautama. Buddha means when he got this, not revolution, consciousness. He got the consciousness. Gautama was a prince, and he had a very, I think physically, etc., everything. He was he had everything. He had everything, and he was not a small or poor man. Perhaps he overestimated the human being. The ordinary human beings, they are much limited, and they need God. They cannot go, but because itself, where the Buddha became what? Lord Buddha. Among the Buddhists, they became a Buddhist god. They became, he's represented as God Buddha, Lord Buddha, God Buddha. So people need God. And we have started, but well, there are many even, well, you know, always there are very, very small or deviations or very lesser understandings, but ultimately what we find that even God, which very not very recently, but Mahatma Gandhi said that supreme beings or supreme good, it's not just supreme being, it's supreme good, which is God. Or God, as I can say this way is perhaps better. There's the supreme good as God, God as supreme good, and finally God is supreme good. This is the human way of saying things. We, as, etc., we are not satisfied. When you say is, yeah, that's it. So God is good. So okay, so this and also this is certain. There is no uncertainty. So we have this divine certainty, but we came from maximal uncertainty towards the divine certainty, which we can, along which we can move and we can go forward. But in between, there is something. It's very, very important, and one of the greatest minds, I think, that's Heisenberg, Werner Heisenberg, the German scientist, in the 1924 or 25. He found that there is uncertainty. We cannot be certain. This is very small, and it is our in our universe. This H cut, I think, called the Heisenberg's constant, which is I think 10 to the minus 34. But this it is very little in small. Even in laboratories, we the physicists have gone up to 10 to the power minus 18, but 10 to the minus 34 is very far way off. But this says something to us, that even if this divine certainty is for us human beings, but physically it is not certain. There's uncertainty would be still there. From maximum uncertainty, we came to this very little uncertainty of Heisenberg, and then we ourselves subjectively we go towards the divine certainty, which we need is very much. Yeah, we are not just physical beings; we are human beings. So that's how why I say from maximal uncertainty to divine certainty via Heisenberg. So let's say bye for now, another time.